Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. Whoa. I, 29 female, am engaged to Liam, 32 male. We've been together for 4 years and engaged for just over a year. Our wedding is set for 6 weeks from now. Liam is wonderful, most of the time. He's thoughtful, kind, and has been my rock in so many ways. But when it comes to his sister, Hannah, 35 female, he has a huge blind spot. Hannah is the family golden child. I won't lie, she is charming on the surface. But underneath that shiny exterior, she's reckless, impulsive, and manipulative. Her life is one crisis after another, and somehow, the people around her are always expected to clean up the mess. Liam's parents enable her. They always have. She's just going through a rough patch, is their favorite phrase, even though her rough patch has lasted over a decade. Hannah is married to Dean, 38 male, who is, to put it politely, a scumbag. Dean has been in and out of legal trouble for years. Minor stuff at first. Tax evasion allegations, sketchy business deals, shady real estate scams. He's always had a new get-rich-quick scheme and usually leaves a trail of destruction behind. About 3 months ago, things escalated. Dean was arrested and charged with corporate fraud and embezzlement. We're talking millions of dollars stolen through fake shell companies, falsified documents, the whole 9 yards. It made the local news. His face was everywhere. There's a real chance he'll spend years in prison if convicted. When this happened, Hannah went into full panic mode. She cried about how she couldn't lose him, about how he's a good man who made a mistake. She swore up and down that he's innocent, even though the evidence against him is massive. She also started begging everyone for money to help with legal fees and bail. Now here's where it gets personal. 2 months ago, Liam and I hosted a small engagement dinner at our home. Close friends, some family, a relaxed get-together before the wedding chaos kicked in. Hannah was there. She was polite, acted perfectly normal, even complimented me on my jewelry, specifically a Rolex watch, a pair of diamond stud earrings, and a diamond necklace that I wore that night. These pieces are very special to me. The Rolex was a 30th birthday gift from my father. The earrings and necklace were heirlooms from my late grandmother. They're irreplaceable, not just in value, but in meaning. A few days after the dinner, I noticed the jewelry was missing. At first, I thought maybe I misplaced it. I tore the house apart, looking for the watch and the diamond set. I cried. I barely slept for 2 nights, retracing every step I'd taken. Then I checked our home security cameras. Liam and I have indoor cameras in a few rooms, mostly because we travel often and wanted peace of mind. We don't monitor them obsessively, but we store the footage for a few weeks. That's when I saw it. We don't have camera in our bedroom, but the hallway camera showed Hannah entering our bedroom next day after engagement dinner. She came to pick her cake dish and asked if she can use our bathroom. After seeing her entering our bedroom, I had no doubt that she was the one who stole my things. I confronted Hannah immediately. At first, she denied it, said I must be confused. When I told her I had video proof, her tone changed. She started crying, saying she didn't have a choice. She said Dean's bail was set at a massive amount, and she was desperate. She claimed she'd planned to pay me back eventually, but had no other way to get the money in time. She said I was family, and family helps each other in emergencies. Let me repeat, stealing my late grandmother's heirlooms and a birthday gift from my father is not asking for help, it's theft. So I went to the police. I filed a report. It wasn't an easy decision, but Hannah took something priceless from me. She crossed a line you don't come back from. I felt violated in my own home. The police arrested her a week later. They recovered my Rolex from a local pawn shop. The earrings and necklace are gone, either sold off, melted down, or who knows what. She's now facing felony theft charges. This is where things get really messy. My future in-laws are furious with me. They've begged, guilt-tripped, and outright demanded that I drop the charges. Their argument is that Hannah was in a desperate situation and did what she thought she had to do to save her family. They've called me heartless for ruining her life over some jewelry. They've told me that pressing charges is destroying the family. They've said I should be more understanding and show compassion. The kicker: they're now threatening not to attend our wedding unless I drop the charges. Liam is caught in the middle, but if I'm being honest, he's starting to lean toward his parents' side. He says he understands why I'm hurt, but he thinks I should consider letting this go to keep the peace. He's worried about his parents boycotting the wedding. He's worried about how this will look to the rest of the family. He says things like, "She's my sister. Do you really want to start our marriage with me having to choose between you and my family?" When I asked him, "What about me? What about how violated and betrayed I feel?" He told me, "I get it, but can't you be the bigger person?" The bigger person? I'm the victim here. I didn't make this choice lightly. But this isn't just about stolen jewelry. It's about trust, about boundaries, and about consequences. Hannah wasn't some desperate mother stealing food to feed her kids. She wasn't trying to save someone from a life-or-death situation. She stole luxury items to bail out a corporate criminal husband who very likely committed massive fraud and ruined dozens of lives himself. She's 35 years old, not a child, not a victim, an adult who made a choice. If I drop the charges, what message does that send? That in this family, you can commit felonies against someone and get away with it as long as you cry hard enough? That keeping the peace matters more than protecting yourself from people who violate your trust? That being a good future daughter-in-law means being a doormat? I can't do that. Besides the jewelry, which, again, is priceless to me, I've lost my sense of security. My home no longer feels safe. My engagement is now strained. My in-laws have made it clear they value family appearances over holding their daughter accountable. And Liam? I love him, but his inability to stand by me on this has made me question everything. If this is how he handles betrayal now, what happens when we're married? Will I be expected to roll over every time someone in his family crosses a boundary? So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to drop the charges against my fiancé's sister? Even though it means my in-laws might not come to our wedding, and my fiancé is begging me to be the bigger person. Not the a-hole. Actions have consequences. OP's fiancé's family wants to skip straight to forgiveness because it's easier for them, not because it's right. Hannah didn't steal a loaf of bread to feed starving kids. She stole luxury jewelry to bail out a white-collar criminal. That's not desperation. That's entitlement. If OP drops the charges now, you're telling everyone, including your fiancé, that she'll accept betrayal as long as it's wrapped in a tearful apology. OP needs to stand her ground. And now let's hear community's opinion. Nobody ruins your life by holding you accountable. You ruin your own life by committing the crime. Your in-laws have that completely backwards. They're not mad about Hannah stealing. They're mad you're refusing to pretend it didn't happen. That's not keeping the peace. That's silencing yourself for their comfort. Also, your fiancé saying you need to be the bigger person is a red flag. Bigger person doesn't mean doormat, not the a-hole. Let me get this straight. She stole from you, sold family heirlooms, and now they're upset that you're not smiling through it for the sake of a wedding photo? This isn't about jewelry. It's about trust and safety. She violated both. And if your fiancé can't see that now, what happens when she crosses another line after you're married? If you drop the charges, you're setting the precedent that forgiveness is mandatory, no matter the crime. Not the a-hole. Keep the charges. Keep your boundaries. Classic golden child dynamics. The whole family rearranges reality to protect the problem person. You're not ruining Hannah's life. She ruined her own life when she committed a felony. If they don't show up to your wedding, that's on them, not you. And honestly, I'd be rethinking marrying into a family where keeping the peace always seems to mean you get hurt, and they get a free pass. Not the a-hole. Stay strong. Essentially, my son's, 19 male, lives with us for college reasons. Ex-fiancé, 21 female, was kicked out of her house due to not getting along with her parents, as well as her parents traumatizing her. She came here to live per my son's request, and he worked really hard to make her comfortable. He gave up his room for her, he cooks for her, picks up after her. We told her she could stay as long as she needs to, and while she was here, we would get her a driver's license and a job, so she could get back on her feet. Recently, it comes apparent to everyone in our home that she's been distant from my son, and it's been killing him inside. I told him to give her time. She would come around. She's just going through a lot. The girl's parents showed they don't care about her. She's going through so much. Well, the other night, my son came home from work dead silent and didn't say a word to his fiancé or my daughter, 18 female. He just went to his old room and stayed there. She eventually went in the room, and a while later, we heard some screaming, calling her a B and an S. I went into his room, and she was crying, and he was packing her things. She said he threw something and it scared her, but he said he for sure didn't, and showed us video proof that he didn't. He had caught his fiancée cheating with his sister, who is my daughter, and confronted her while recording, just in case she tried to claim he did something to hurt her. I told him to unpack her things and we would talk about it. It's been 3 days, and he's pleaded for us to kick her out. But I said I'm a man of my word, and I wouldn't force her to leave until she is able to. He asked me to at least kick her out of his room, and I told him he gave it up, so it's hers until she leaves. He has completely stopped talking to me. He has disowned his sister, and he's trying to get a roommate lined up. He told me I've shown clear favoritism towards his ex, and that if I don't make an attempt to fix things, he would cut me out. But I'm just trying to teach him accountability, and I'm trying to show him that he needs to make better life choices, or they could come back and bite him in the butt. My wife started an argument with me about how even if I don't kick out my son's ex, I would still make an attempt to fix things between me and my son. But I said he's an adult now. He can apologize to me for the things he has and hasn't said. And my wife just stared at me and called me a coward. I thought I was in the right. I still do. But now that my wife told me firsthand I could be wrong, I'm doubting myself. Am I the a-hole? Edit. My daughter did receive punishment as soon as I found out. Her internet has been turned off permanently. She has to pay for her own Wi-Fi. Also, I told her she's going to have to apply to real jobs to pay for college as well. My daughter isn't the golden child by any standard. She received punishment, as did my son's ex. I am in no way comfortable having her in my house with my son, but he hasn't been an adult at all either. I've tried to have sit-down conversations with him of what to do, but he's been giving me the cold shoulder, telling me we have to kick her out, but she has nowhere to go. I told her she's not allowed to eat out of our refrigerator and has to buy her own food, and she's not allowed to use our Wi-Fi or electronic devices. They're both being punished, and I've so far been trying to cover my son's expenses to help him out and as compensation. He hasn't talked to me to come to a solution, so I've been letting him calm down. I expect an apology for his childish behavior towards me, not his ex. Yes, you're the a-hole. Okay, fine. Don't immediately throw her out on the street. But A, give your son's damn room back, and B, give her a leave date and stick to it. You can help her find new accommodations if you really want to. You made her a promise. Well, she broke a promise too, and your son has been badly hurt by both his girlfriend and his sister. You're his parent. Try acting like it. You're the a-hole. She cheated. You're forcing him to live with the girl that broke his heart and her partner in the affair. I get being a stand-up guy and sticking to your word, but she didn't stick to her word. This is how you raise a child that lets their partners walk all over them. What accountability are you teaching him? You're the a-hole. This feels fake, but on the off chance it's not. Seriously? Accountability? You think most people could foresee their partner cheating on them with their sibling? Come on. What you are doing is actively choosing this girl over your son, and that's crappy. You should at least have the decency to give your son his room back. Give this girl notice to get the duck out, and start being a better parent for duck's sake. My ex cheated on me while I was pregnant with our son. He only told me because he got his now wife pregnant and had no choice. He wanted us to work things out, but I knew I couldn't play stepmom to his love child, so I chose to divorce him for my own sanity. Our families were very close. My late dad was his dad's best friend, and I grew up considering them like second parents. We've remained close even after the divorce. They spoil my son a lot. They constantly buy him gifts. They pay for his school and all of his activities. They pay so that I can take him on vacation every year, etc. They don't do these things for my ex's daughter, and it's causing jealousy between the kids. My ex banned them from buying our son gifts or paying for his school, as they were blatantly favoring our son. So his parents called me and asked if they could see my son when he was with me, to give him his gifts, and if I would let them continue to pay for his school, which I agreed to. My ex and his wife found out and are now pissed at me. Apparently, my son was rubbing it in their daughter's face that their grandparents love him more. They want the three of us to figure out a way forward, but I don't see how this is my problem. Am I the a-hole? Everyone sucks here. Him for the cheating, the grandparents for playing favorites, you for not teaching your kid to be more graceful, and getting the kids to hate each other because their father is an a-hole. Look, I don't know if the grandparents are really even playing favorites, as opposed to making up for their son's absence. If he had not cheated and gotten another woman pregnant, he'd be paying for one household, one child, and his son would have more time with his father and more financial security. Because he couldn't do the most basic part of marriage, his son's standard of living and relationship with his father, the father's family, suffered. Grandparents are just making up for their son's mistakes. Granddaughter gets to live in an intact, two-parent household, both providing for her. Grandson lives with his mom only, visits his dad on occasion, and gets a fraction of his dad's income sent by check every month. She almost certainly already has a better standard of living, whereas son just gets subsidized by his grandparents via some gifts and schooling. Edit. Not the a-hole. If your ex has a problem, he needs to talk to his parents and figure out if there is a reason besides we like him more that they give his son's mom more money. Do they have a relationship with her and the son outside of holidays? Is their household income considerably less? Are they saving for your daughter separately or planning to give her a lump sum inheritance later when she does need it? We have no idea because X is too afraid to confront his parents and wants OP to smooth the way for him. Nope, sorry. That is very much your problem. Your ex's daughter didn't ask to be born into this mess. And if you're not going to stand up to her grandparents' favoritism, the least you can do is ensure he doesn't act like a spoiled brat about it. I, male 52, was together with my ex for 5 years and married for 3 of those. She, 43, had 2 children from a previous relationship. She was receiving child support from her ex, and we only married after she stopped getting alimony. Her kids were part of my life from ages 10 to 12 and 14 to 16. We were on good terms, but they had a father, and they were on good terms with him, as it should be. They were civil and well-behaved when they spent time with us. I've never had kids and didn't ever plan on kids, so it was a new experience for me. It was interesting, but I was happy that I dealt with them when they were already partly grown. My relationship with their mom didn't last, unfortunately. It might have been better if we hadn't gone from having fairly independent lives for our first years of marriage to being locked into our house together 24/7 for the next 2 years. We divorced 2 years ago. We were older when we met, and we both had careers, so we had a prenup. I kept my house that I owned before we married, and she got some money from the retirement fund we set up. We are from a small town outside a big city, so we saw each other every once in a while, at the grocery store or at social events. The older kid is starting college this September. I remember helping them plan out their high school AP classes and talking about getting them a car if they wanted to drive in from town to a train station for school. It never happened. I never got them a car. Now they are starting college, and I saw her and she asked if I was still planning on helping her out. I said no. My help was kind of contingent on me being in a relationship with their mom. She got upset and said that the help she got from her father was independent from his relationship with her mom. I did not want to have this conversation or explain to an 18-year-old girl exactly why I wasn't willing to drop a few $1,000s on a kid I had no real connection to. I had only seen her 6 or 7 times since the divorce. My ex called me up and said that I was an a-hole for going back on a promise to her daughter. I couldn't believe I had to explain to her why I didn't owe her kid anything. Am I the a-hole? So, not the a-hole. She got upset and said that the help she got from her father was independent from his relationship with her mom. Because he's her father and you are not. You don't owe those kids anything. Not the a-hole. Mom, however, is. She should be providing for her own child. You are a legal stranger and have no reason to do anything for these kids. Not the a-hole. At 18, this girl is old enough to understand that you have no obligations here and that plans changed for all involved as a result of the divorce. Her twice-divorced mom is more than old enough to understand and should be ashamed of herself for demanding this type of support. I, 26 male, was dating Lisa, 25 female, for around 3 years. I thought we were happy, but it turns out I was happy while she was keeping secrets to herself. Before me, Lisa was in a relationship with Mary, 41 female, but it ended. I was told that it just didn't work out. I didn't ask any more questions because, quite frankly, that wasn't my business, and I figured she knew her stuff. So let's get into it, I guess. I live in a house a few blocks away from the college that Lisa's receiving her graduate degree at. And with the way our relationship was going, I asked her to move in a little over a year ago. Lisa was put on academic probation due to grades, which caught me off guard, to be honest. I asked what was going on and if I could help. It turns out that would begin our downward spiral. After a few days, Lisa came to me and told me that she could not fight it anymore, and she needed to tell me that she was gay, and she no longer felt that she had romantic interests in men. I was surprised, and to be open, I was livid. I don't care that someone is gay, but she had no right to steal years of my life from me. Our relationship was a lie, and my time was stolen. I felt like I was going crazy. People were calling her brave while being confused why it would upset me. I gave Lisa an eviction notice, legally, and it went from bad to worse. Lisa does not drive and doesn't work. She came from New York City and said she had no reason to drive and didn't want the expense. She didn't work because of school and free housing provided through me. She contacted her college's resource center to figure out housing, but they were unable to help and pointed her in the direction of shelters and a local church. She can move back home, but she would have to drop out till the fall semester. But due to being on probation, that could slow her graduation down to 18 months longer and adding a ton more of debt. And that's even if the classes she would need would be offered where she re-enrolled, making going home a waste of her graduate time. I view this as her problem. I'm still bitter about my time being wasted, but a little more has come out. Apparently, the real reason Lisa and Mary split up is due to physical problems, and Lisa is likely to move back in with Mary. Lisa called me last weekend and pleaded to let her stay just till May 21st, but I dismissed her. Most of my friends want to stay out of it, but some say I'm doing something wrong. The one friend who is on my side asked them why they don't take her in, and they get uneasy and say why it's different. Am I the a-hole for evicting Lisa? You're not the a-hole for evicting her since you're no longer in a relationship, but you are the a-hole for harping on her wasting your time. She told you once she fully understood her sexuality. That's a journey for so many people, and everyone comes into their truth in their own time. You sound like the type of insufferable man who will now take this disappointment out on future relationships, claiming women can't be trusted. You're the a-hole, not because you evicted her, but because of the narcissistic manner you are handling the breakup and the situation of her coming out. Narcissistic? You expect him to be okay with the fact that she left him? He was affected negatively by her coming out. On top of that, she used him. He has every right to be upset. What is he supposed to do? Cheer her on? Not the a-hole. At this point, I would have trouble believing anything she said. I would evict her and move on with your life. She's not your problem anymore. I just job hopped and landed a job at a, frankly, ridiculous salary. I went from making $120K doing software engineering to $310K in a senior systems engineering role, plus a sign-on bonus and stock options. It's at a startup company that's high risk, high reward, so it's a gamble if the company will still exist in a few years. But for now, it's great. I decided I didn't want to change my lifestyle at all, since the money's probably temporary. So I kept on spending like always, and just put all the extra money into maxing out my retirement savings and paying down my house. I've also been in a relationship with my boyfriend Jason for about a year and a half. He makes $90K, so he's doing really well himself. We're both in a low cost of living rural area, and he's still making a lot more than average here. But after I got the new job, he started being really critical of how I spend, or don't. Like, I wanted to build a sunroom gazebo for my house, so I went to the construction material recycling and reuse center to buy some lumber and some vintage windows to make it. Woodworking and DIY is genuinely a hobby of mine, but my boyfriend made fun of me for still going to the junkyard to build the gazebo, even when I could afford to hire a contractor. But the bigger fight has been about vacation. We'd planned to do a road trip in the summer, camping most of the way, and staying in hotels a night or two a week to shower and stay near cities we visit. But after I got the new job, he wants to stay in hotels every night. I was kind of stressed about that, because I don't want to start spending like I'll always have this kind of cash flow and have that lifestyle creep, since I know it might not last, and I don't want to feel disappointed or struggle when I have to scale back my spending. So it was really important to me to just put away whatever extra money that's temporarily coming through for the future. But my boyfriend told me I was being ridiculous, wanting to sleep on the ground on our vacation when I was making so much. I said I love camping. I was looking forward to all the camping and hiking and climbing we'd planned. And he just kind of snapped at me, saying that I seem to love everything that's cheap or free, and it's kind of entitled, honestly. I said if anyone's acting entitled, it's honestly him. When he just wanted me to pay for something, he didn't even ask if I wanted, didn't offer to split the cost or anything. It's like he just saw me making more and decided he wanted to spend it. We had this big fight where he said I was all about me, only caring about my house and my retirement, and how I'd spend thousands a month paying my mortgage faster than I need to, but wouldn't even do the minimum to make our vacation nice. Am I the a-hole for wanting to use the money coming in from a new job to save for the future? Your boyfriend sounds like he has extremely different financial values from you. The concerning thing here is that he refuses to respect your financial values and seeks to impose his on you. He absolutely feels entitled to your money. It's fantastic this happened now, because he's showing you who he is before the relationship gets more serious. End it. This isn't the guy. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. It's your job, your money, and pretty rude for your boyfriend to decide how you should spend it. If he wants to be a big spender, he should find a job where he makes more. You aren't all me because you are literally looking forward to a trip where you'd be spending a lot of close time with him. For you, it's about the simple things. For him, it's about money. Your money. Not the a-hole, but I would look at the boyfriend with brand new eyes after this. He is appropriating your money into an us situation. Just tell him that if he wants to stay in a hotel every night, he is more than welcome to book them and pay for it. You are going to do the trip as originally planned.